got a race going on here. Or like, I think it's kind of the end of it. Because there's a lot of people just kind of walking. All the running, the real serious runners were earlier this morning. I think this started at like 6 or something. Yeah, they have this stuff like this occasionally here. I usually don't know until I leave the house and I'm walking. I'll go to where I usually walk every day and run into it. It's cool though. It's pretty mellow at this point. Me and Nia yesterday were talking about like how you see a lot of these YouTube manifestation people, and they talk about like get money, you know, manifest money in your life. And I was talking to her about it, and I'm like, you know, to me that is the sort of the road to black magic. You know, I'm pretty strict about that kind of stuff anyway, about how it's applied in my own life and what I will do and won't do. And I feel like anything that you do to gain something for yourself that gives anyone a deficit, and any part of that chain, you know, down to getting what you want, that's black magic, you know, because that's you're hurting someone in some way to get something for yourself. So you know, I understand people are in a situation now where they're desperate for money, and historically, when things are bad, societies are you know, not doing well financially, throughout the ages, a lot of people turn to magic because they're trying to find some kind of control, or to gain some kind of control back in their life where they can try to game the system in some way. And that's happening now. Like in modern times, you just see a lot of these people manifest money. I don't think it's ever good to try to manifest paper, fucking Babylonian paper squares, fiat money, the beast system coins. It's just not good. I don't think. Now, you want your life to be better, and a lot of people do. I think there's a better way to do that. Instead of wishing for money or trying to use magic for money, you want to make your life easier in some way, because that's ultimately why you want the money. There are other ways to go about that, where you can kind of put your will into the universe, try to make your life easier, you know, without being a deficit on someone else. Like, but perhaps you need the money for a car, right? Well, you can just put your will towards that, and maybe as a consequence, someone in your life or someone that you know come to you and say, hey, I got it, you know, I can't drive anymore or something, whatever happened, I lost my license, do you want my car? Or those, you know, either give it to you or sell it to you cheap, or just something like that. That's fine. But when you're asking for money, right, I mean, it's coming from someone else. And a lot of times, even people that don't consider themselves as dabblers in black magic, I'm alarmed when I see them or hear them talking about stuff like that, you know, in various occult podcasts or whatever. And, you know, they'll talk about getting something from someone who, and from the person's situation, is denigrated somehow, or they take an L, and they don't seem to have a problem with it. And to me, that's fucking black magic. It's very easy to go down that path, because you know, you're looking for a result, and black magic, for a lot of it, and I know I'm just using black magic as an umbrella term, or general umbrella term, I would qualify it as anything that takes from the universe, leaving a deficit for you to gain. So yeah, when I look at all those, there's so many channels now about that, how to manifest money and wish for it. That's not a good way to engage with the universe, engage your will, you know, at least for me. I mean, you know, that's just my opinion on this kind of stuff. We had a more we had a better conversation about it, and I made a lot of good points. Unfortunately, I'm recalling none of that now. So, you know, that's how this goes. You win some, you lose some. I'm actually going down to see Nia now to pick up a coffee. Nice safer race, though. I'm going to get a little further down the street, then I'll pick it up a little bit more. Another thing, too, on the black magic tip is I've seen over the past 10 years a lot of women turning to witchcraft or some form of witchcraft. You know, it's again, it's the temptation to try to take control of your life or have some sort of control in the sort of chaotic times we find ourselves in. And it's because, you know, it actually started probably before that. It's been this whole century, almost kind of since 7-Eleven was an inside job. I'm going to say the last 20 years. Yeah, I think that's not good, because especially for younger people to see that kind of thing, get involved in that. Now they're all, of course, different kinds of witchcraft. There's Wicca, Wiccans, all that kind of that differentiates what they do. There are some witches that call themselves white witches, but I don't know about that. I think when you use the term witch, ultimately it all comes out of the same dark place. It all comes from the same dark place, but whatever you're using it for. And a lot of the methods that they use, even if they're done in an altruistic way, have its origins in really negative stuff. But it's hard to, you know, I've had friends too, people I know that are sort of doing that now. It's people I don't talk to, people like I used to know. I'd never like try to check them on it, but it's just kind of interesting to see. And I think a lot of that has to do with the times we're in, these sort of end time scenario situations when darkness is kind of running unchecked, that it proliferates the culture. And you know, they've had TV shows like Charmed and stuff like that, and it may seem innocuous, but what it can get people into is stuff that they're not prepared for or don't understand how to use. And you know, anytime you mess with stuff like that, usually it's going to come back to bite you on the ass. And then there's like real edgelords who try to summon demons to do their bidding, or to give them things, or get runes, and that's just absolutely retarded. Like, I've talked about that before, demon summoning, and a lot of guys that do it or have done it in the past. You know, someone like a Crowley, who actually wasn't very responsible when it came to that stuff. He started many things he didn't finish and put people in danger, but I don't think he cared. He was more about, you know, he was a smart guy, but his ego kind of controlled him and what he did. But when you're trying to work with demons, right, most of the time, a lot of the stuff you have to do magically is to protect yourself from the fucking demon that you're bringing up. You know, described it before, it's like you want to take a house down. So you bring the Tasmanian devil and you bring him to the location, you open the cage, and you hope he just goes after the house. Meanwhile, magically, what you have to do is surround yourself with fucking sandbags, because it's going to come right for you. It's kind of reckless. I don't think people realize, you know, I mean, I don't even realize the implications of a lot of this stuff. You know, it's beyond, really, ultimately, it's beyond the realm of much of our understanding. You know, no matter how well read you are or how much time you spent kind of looking into it or studying it, there's still variables that, you know, it's just not good to mess with. So I would say anything, whatever you're doing, you got to think about what am I trying to get for myself, and will it affect anyone else. That's why it's stick to, like, I mean, if you're doing anything, I think you're always safe sticking with shielding, sticking with healing, positive stuff. What would be, you know, maybe called white magic. That's really all you can do. They're really your offensive weapons in that area is the healing, is the shielding. Because if you use like a healing, say on a demonic entity or someone possessed, that's like a weapon to them. Healing is like having something that hurts them, you know, because that's what you're trying to do. You're trying to heal the person, get the entity out of there. These entities are they're everywhere. I mean, they're just in spaces that you can't see. Whether you want to call them dimensions or whatever you want to call them, they're around. They're just hanging out, waiting to try to get in. They can't get out of here. You know, they've been taken from their bodies. They're Nephilim, forgotten ones. Their spirits stay here in this fishbowl, and there's no way out for them. So the only thing they can do is to try to get pleasure to experience the 3D by getting into bodies, you know, people's bodies. And if the person is low vibrational, through whatever means, that they're unhappy, you know, depressed, drug addiction, can lead someone to be really low vibrationally. They just slide right in, and they just get right in there, and they'll have them do really extreme things. Like we've been looking at the people on planes, and there's always a lot of times there's like a sexual element to it, because when they get in that body, they're just like, oh yeah, I want to they start dry humping the fucking, you know, the furniture, because they want that thing they can't get when they're incorporeal.
Maybe a little before 7, right?
And you're opening yourself up to all that stuff, you know. When you do some of the stuff that I see a lot of people on social media, you type in, go to Instagram and just type in witch, and there's pages and pages and pages of all these like goth girls and just you know, even people that don't look goth who are just adapted this lifestyle. Again, I mean, it's an aesthetic as well too, and people are always kind of looking for something to belong to or be part of, but never ends well, because ultimately the forces that you're dealing with, they don't want good things for you. They want you to be unhappy. They want you to be miserable. You know, they want bad things for you. You know, people that edgy people that try to align themselves with Satan, so they can look at him as some kind of rebel chief, leader, master. He hates you. You know, he really does. And he wants the worst for you. You gotta just think about what you're doing. I'd say, like, don't get involved in any of it, you know, because the little you're gonna get out of it, and I'm talking about people that are complete neophytes coming into it, that what you're gonna get out of it is not worth the possible damage it can do to you or the people around you. Remember, kids, don't do drugs. I think I'll do a fucking PSA. You or someone you know have gotten involved with black magic? Let me shut this down for another pack. All right, out of the marathon zone. If you are interested in learning about Christian esotericism or white magic or any of that stuff, in the comments I'll leave a link that has a lot of good resources you can check out, so you can learn a little bit about it and see if you're interested in checking it out. Yeah, it's you know, it's been around since the beginning, and they always try to steer you away from it. You know, like we were talking, me and you, about the term occult. And when you think of occult, you think of like Satan, and you think of evil shit. And that's not what it's about at all. It means hidden. It just means hidden knowledge. But they want you to relate it to Satanism and stuff like that, so that people avoid it. Because they don't want you having any control at all over this matrix. They want to run it, and they just want you to deal with the results of the running. So yeah, I'll put that down below there. I can't pin it because since my last ban, my fourth one, in order for me to pin comments, I have to send them a photo ID and all this other stuff, and I'm just not gonna do that. Fuck that. They have enough information on me. They have years of information on me. They don't need a photo ID. So I don't usually get a lot of comments anyway. I usually get a couple from regulars who I appreciate a lot. I love talking to you guys. I learn a lot of stuff. I've legit learned a lot of stuff from talking to different people. So yeah, it'll be down there if you want to check it out. So in conclusion, yeah, just fucking stay away from black magic. Anything negative, it's gonna hurt you in the end. Going through the jungle here. It's time to go back in. For a while they chopped this all down. We call this the jungle. Because it's a, you know, obvious reasons. They cleaned up a lot. When I first moved here, this was like a haven for like drug users and, you know, bad guys would kind of hide in the, anywhere there's like darkness, any nooks and crannies. As evil is wont to do, it always migrates to an area like that. Yeah, I did a good job cleaning this up. A lot of painting going on in the neighborhood too. They try. People try. And that's how you could do. God loves a try. So until next time, thanks for dropping by. And don't blame the teacher. Blame the school. Ocean looking a little rough today.